Okay, so last part we missed a spell. I ran back off screen to grab it. On the way, I found the pineapple again. So I figured, hey, I'll poach that, and I'll show people what it means to fight it. So you can see he's only got 9,000 health. It looks like we can kill him. He has auto-reflect, so we wouldn't be able to cast water on him, which kind of sucks. But here, look at this. Varn doomed it. Damn it, Varn. So it auto-dies, 0 loot. And I had Varn in the team because Varn is my poacher. I missed it. I even reloaded the zone to try and get him to respawn, but you have to move like 3 zones away and back, just like how chests worked in the original release. So screw it, but there you go, that's a pineapple fight, and he's in our bestiary now. The main thing we're collecting is a spell. There's a technique underground in a cave, a spell in the open air. Look at this vista, incredibly beautiful as we look out across the immense sand ocean. Do we just call it an ocean, I guess, maybe? And so I explore all of these places, grabbing the chests, which has been really good because Barsh has got a 100% chance to get the equipment as long as he doesn't get gilled. Like, if you look at this chest here, I'm thinking, that's the spell. That's the spell. I'm going to grab it, guys. And then it turned out I was wrong. It's not the spell. That one was a repeat of the Warhammer. So, I mean, we got some good money from this, but it was a bit of a trek. I also found this creature. It's a Wyvern, so special new genus and everything. We've never fought a Wyvern. Full flying enemy, so the fight's going to go a bit different. And these guys appear like, again, like really high up out in these remote areas. I love this part of the Sand Sea, honestly. So you'll notice here that Barsh can't hit it with the hammer. But if we watch Vossler, Vossler is hitting it with telekinesis. Telekinesis lets him swing his greatsword at range. See this here? And for that reason, it's actually very powerful because once you can take any weapon to become a hit airborne things, you can do amazing stuff. So we won't actually learn that. Only Vossler's got that. We can't put that on any of our other party members for ages. You may have noticed Penelo could hit it too with her very long pole. And, oh dear, that's the healing rod I was talking about, which I do appreciate. We could do some fun gambits. Reflect was in this chest. Off on the side, you'll see this guy's creeping up on me as I collect it. And Barsh is asleep. Here, the primary tank complex, really close to where we saw the Entite before. Reflect! That's the magic. There's a lot to talk about with it. Some cool strats. We'll dive into those in the full video now. And check it out. First aid being used here, as Balthea basically just props us up. This is another one of those weird moments where it's like, you could use turbo to change how you value things. Like, cure costs stuff. But if you really want, you could disable cure and just have Balthea first aid spam and turbo through it all if you want. So the tomb is just through this cave again. We've got a lot of points to spend and stuff, so let's do this. We should be able to walk into the cave, and I need to pay close attention. Do we get an autosave? Yeah, we do get an autosave. Okay, nice. What do you mean? Of course we're gonna get an autosave. Why wouldn't we? Oh, look at this place. Listen to this music, guys. Ooh, baby. And yeah, everyone has a walk animation, by the way. Kind of hard to see. You have to be very light with the analog stick. On PC, there's a proper toggle for it. But if you walk, everyone else walks. Right, so this is the Valley of the Dead. It's a big old area. You know, we can run all the way around here. Maybe find some chests or something. We won't actually ever find any chests. Feels suspiciously like a coliseum almost, doesn't it, out the front of it? And what is that massive creature on the outside? Carved into stone up there. Did somebody hear a roar? Whoa, that cutscene bugged! The cutscene... Oh my god, I accidentally hit turbo there. I think... Yeah, I've got speed on faster. So let's go to wait. The cutscene bugged. That's so weird. I have another version of that cutscene where you can actually see it properly. This is the Garuda. The Garuda fight. Another one of my big disappointments from Vanilla. There's a lot of build-up to this guy. He's the defender of the tomb. Dice has been talking about him a bunch. So, well, what's he like in Vanilla? Just complete pushover. It's such a shame. We're going to have a real problem, and there's actually a lot of fun stuff that Square designed with this. So, first of all, he's a flying enemy, just like we saw with that Wyvern a second ago. So, only certain party members are actually going to be able to do anything. Namely, Barsh here with that disabled strike. Sorry, Barsh, you're not going to actually be able to help out here. Balthea's good, though, with the gun. Penelo's good with poles. Fran's good with bows. Ash is good with crossbows. Magics are all good. Vossler's good. So you got a lot of options, but it is a flying boss. Garuda, of course, being a repeat name of a regular Final Fantasy enemy. In fact, you fight Garudas quite early in some of the games. So, what else do... Well, let's just see how it goes, all right? You can also see he's weak to dark, but this is by far the tankiest guy we've fought so far. 27,000 HP. That's no small health bar. And wow. Well, you can see he just scored a double kill. So what the hell happened there? Let's get Ash and Fran out. Oh, sorry. Let's get Ash and Van out. They're a little bit tankier. Make sure we're all together here. And, well, you'll see he just cast some kind of crazy ability that knocked Vossler out. We can called Gale. So he's using air kind of themed magics. That's Gale there. And basically, he's going to spam this. It's ranged. It has mass knockback and a chance to immobilize us. So here Balthea's going for the slow gun attack. That's pretty good. But, I mean, Gale is hitting for 1,000. It's knocking Vossler out. If we want to over-grind to deal with this, there's going to be a lot of grind to deal with. Oh, my God, we've had Ash not gambited. So there he is again. And so he also has another ability if you are balled up. And it's what Vossler's been using. It's Blitz. I'm hoping to show it off. You can block it, by the way. So Van will be a good evade tank here. Has he got Blitz? Nah, we couldn't see. Well, anyway, he'll AoE as well. Even more wind attacks. And he'll destroy you. So you can win this fight if you really try and really work on it, especially if you use Decoy. Now, did we buy that from Rabanasta? That's why I went back there before. Oh my God, I don't know whether I bought it. I did buy it, didn't I? Just before we spoke to Kit Yen, did I buy it? I don't think I bought it. Or maybe when I loaded the save, no! For God's sake. It's alright, we've got a teleport crystal. But there's actually a really easy way of getting through the fight beyond that as well. So instead of spawning the Garuda, a little hitch before we get into the temple itself, which, by the way, is amazing. I love that temple. It's one of the most ambient, cool places in the game for me. So, what did these guys say? Learned about the Uru-Yensa? Huh. Well, there was that thing with the Moogle, remember? And we did kill a tortoise that was threatening them all. But then we just kind of charged on ahead, as most players probably would do if they weren't paying attention. So what happens if we go back and speak to the Moogle? Now, to tell you the truth, we did kind of slaughter a bunch of these guys nearby. Sorry about that. And in fact, in the fight, there's a bunch of other ones standing around. They have kind of weird setup with their loot and XP and stuff. I think that if you just let the turtle kill them, you don't get XP or something. There's some weird little code to do with that. Look at how fancy they are. Look at it. Oh my God, that death animation of him spiraling out of control and falling down. One of the things I kind of hate about this game is how quickly things despawn and the fact that people despawn when they get turned to stone. I would have loved a mod that keeps people on the field, like corpses on the field and stuff. But I don't know whether that would affect spawns and stuff. I did raise it with a person at one point, but they said it might be a bit more complicated than it first looks. So I'm coming in here with the lead remote because... oh dear, lots of traps. So we're going to hug the left and try to avoid those. Some of them might not actually be too bad. They might not hurt us. But yeah, I don't really want to risk it. What else we got? Well, these things, Axe Beaks. So these are stronger cockatrices with their very cool kind of faces. I don't know, I like their faces. I don't like fighting over this trap. My God, are they both going to die? There it is. Oh yeah, guess to set up so that they won't trigger traps. When you're in a 4-man situation, it's harder to kind of avoid that. So Axe Beaks are not too bad. If you're using your Black Mage, you can just spam water on them. And they'll die very, very, very fast. In fact, let's do that with Fran. And in fact, let's go Jobs, Fran. She got a Gambit slot anywhere? Gambit slots for Black Mages are really good. So the Argyle Armlet here for her. Which one was the Argyle Armlet again? What's this she learned all the way over here? Ah, that's her poach. Okay, very similar to Van, but in a different area of the board. So with a new Gambit slot, we can do this. This is... I get so much joy out of this, okay? You can set up... wait, what? Yeah, here we go. Water. Water Week. And now that's just there forever. And maybe later we get a stronger water spell, but we just kind of upgrade it, right? So you can slowly start working on this, and we'll do that in that order there. Now, if we pull Fran out, she should be fine. We've still got all their licenses and their better armors and stuff to equip, by the way, guys, which I will be setting up very soon. Oh, we are 1 man down. Let's get Ash in, since she's the lowest level. I haven't really been running around with her too much here. Yeah, right when we started this whole bit, last part, we could have bought more stuff for some armor that we purchased and we're not actually wearing. well, we can deal with that in a second, especially for dealing with the Garuda. Bergoglies, these are the other enemies that are in the area. These guys, I think they have a little bit of AoE maybe, but they're just strong physical hitters. Let's see what they were weak to. You'll notice that they're kind of like heavy armored versions of those birds we saw at the Giza Plains. So these guys are weak to earth, so Barsh would be very good here. And Ash, actually. Ash should just be destroying them, to be honest. She's already out. Oh, okay, now a mechanic I haven't talked about. Can you see how Fran's name is in red? Balthia's isn't, Ash isn't, but Penelo and Vota's are. So if your name is in red, it means you are currently the target of an action, whether that be an allied spell or an enemy assault or whatever. While you are the target of an action, you're not allowed to swap a person in or out. And if you think about it, that's really important, because otherwise you could have an enemy that's casting a thing on you and you just swap away and now the spell dissipates or whatever. I guess if they were really, really clever with the coding and stuff. Here's some bulls again, by the way. Those ones we saw before I don't think were bulls, but hey, these guys being weak to lightning, I could set up a thunder gambit, but we don't actually have the space at the moment. They could have been really careful with the coding to make that work a bit better. But yeah, they just have this kind of red highlight thing. To be honest with you, it's one of the jankier things about 12 that I don't enjoy. I do want to return to my early comments, like around part 1, where I was saying, you know, there were things people criticized about this game. It didn't do everything perfectly. There are kinks to the combat system, and I consider that to be one of them. It's genuinely a bit weird in this game, how much as you go forwards, especially in... Oh, she's not had a gambit on again. Especially here, look at this. This is going to be AoE Quake against 2 guys weak to it. So good. And a nice mob there. Oh, that was satisfying. Meanwhile, Vossler blows this dude up. Yeah. There are these little kinks. As you go forwards, you start getting really irritated about, like, who you can swap and when. And honestly, it just feels kind of cheesy to me to be able to swap people at any time. Different Final Fantasies have done different things in terms of, like, who you're allowed to swap and when. I get it. But I feel like it's too much freedom or something. I feel like if you're in combat, you shouldn't be able to swap at all. And I was really close to tweaking the setup so it was like that. But, you know, that's not the game to me at that point anymore. Right, so 3 chests. They're all badass. We'll make sure we're opening them with our Diamond Armlet user. So the Lonegrin, I believe that's the next sword for Barsh. I'll probably keep him on this hammer, though, because Disable Strike is just so good. I mean, right now, we could swap him back to the sword anyway, because earth damage against these guys. These were earth, right? They weren't the arrow weak. I mean, we can use arrow anyway, just because it's so good. Next, this chest here as well. Yeah, let him get his protecting shell up. The more buffs you start using as well, the more you're really going to start figuring out which character you want to play as. Because some of them are just constantly casting, and it's really irritating. Here we get a chopper. That's Varn's next dagger. And 100% chest here will always despawn once you've got it. It's the equivalent to the golden amulet we got before, the embroidered tippet. So, let's run over, and for example, who's our lowest level? It's Ash. Ash is tied with Varn. Not doing much for the Dalmasca crew here, am I, really? So, everyone should get that. Let's see. Should all be the same accessory license somewhere. Oh, I'm not sure. Also, Horology is... We still need to pick these up. We've got both Horology and Numerology, and we haven't used them yet, so let's just have her buy these. I was going to give her the tippet, but I can't find the license, so whatever. And these are really, really, really good spells. Both of these, will be using these. Who else is low? Varn. So, Varn... Here you go. You'll see you get, on this same license, a double LP item, a double AP item, and the high chest rarity loot item, the Diamond Armlet. Everyone will get Accessory 6, and they're all like utility items. None of these help you in combat. None of them. But they all give you a benefit somewhere else, yeah? So, like, Barsh being on the Diamond Armlet's cool, but realistically, I want to put the Battle Harness back on him later, or even the Manufactured Nethicite to protect him from spells, just as Penelo and we were all protected from Geese's crazy spell, weren't we? So anyway, really important. Make sure you come up here to the Sea Moon Bluff and grab those. There is also that field over there where we can do a hunt later on in the day, but that's not so important for us right now. So, I'm now going to cut it, guys. I'm just going to run back along the roads in the reverse direction to where you saw me before, and we're going to go speak to the Moogle. Van got the triple poison here. Look at this. Real nice. What is he doing? Did you just see him cast a spell? So one annoying thing about the UI in the game is if I specifically target one of these guys to see their health or whatever, the UI overlaps with the combat log. And the combat log is what tells you what spells they're using. So I don't know whether that's annoying or whether that's what Square kind of designed. And the idea is that, you know, you get one piece of information in one situation and one in the other. It feels like an oversight to me. All right, anyway, Varn is down. Now, the question is, Phoenix down or Ether, basically. Ether would turn into a Raise. We'll do it this way. Now, there's definitely traps along this. This pier is what we're cutting back in here for. We're not fully out of destination yet. In the last part, you remember I mentioned this. But I'm going to run along. Some Yensa will fly out of the sea. I mean, that's the closest we get. The Yensa popping out of the waters, so to speak, air quotes. And they attack us. You see that they're weak to air. I actually really kind of miss Fran at the moment. Fran would be destroying them, but... Well, she's not too over-leveled. Let's do that. We've got a weird spread at the moment. You just saw Vossler leveled up. He's 20. So, he's doing well. We've been training him up quite well. Even though we don't get complete control because he's still just a guest. But I'm happy for him to be a guest. Penelo asleep. I think we should throw a Prince's Kiss on that. What are they called? Maiden's Kiss? Prince's Kiss? Oh, do we not actually own any? We might not own any. No, there you go. Prince's Kiss. Kissing the toad becomes a princess. Beautiful. That means you're a toad, Penelo. Yeah, he's very, very high level. I'm happy for him to be a guest because it means we get to do this 4-man. And honestly, with his blitz, really handy. Look at how much quicker we're killing them now, by the way. That guy died pretty much straight away. And in fact, if you notice here, it's because what I've done is I've given Varn the Hero's Blade. Oh, he got parried. Nice, by the Yensa. Look at this thing. I like it. We gave him the Hero's Blade, and I think that's bumped his damage. Did it, or did he just hit 30? There's a real variance. They sound so cool as they collapse. So balance. Right, it's a time magic. And this is what Larsa was using. Ash already knows it. It came right before Quake, even though you can buy Quake quicker. I wanted to get her another Gambit slot to hook this into. Looks like she'll get... No, that's not a Gambit slot. They're all over the place, really. There's one. It's after her next crossbow. She's a little bit far away from it because I think she's only got 3 at the moment. Some characters, you learn the gambits faster than others. But here's the idea. Oh, I like all of these. Well, I'll just demo it with this. You can go foe character status equals HP critical. So this is probably in my opinion, the most complicated gambit in the game because it's got kind of 2 things you're thinking about. We are targeting a foe. It says foe on the far left. Always that means we're targeting foe. Also this is the red section, okay? But we're only targeting a foe when our health is critical. Now, why might we want to do that? Well, what if it's like an ability that like drains their HP or something? That'd be pretty cool, right? Well, there's also this, balance. Deal damage equal to the difference between your current and max HP. So if Ash is about to die, she like Vossler here, Vossler has what, a 600 HP difference there? He's lost if we walk further up, I think another one will spawn. Yeah, there it is. He's lost 600 HP. If he casts balance right now, he would do 600 damage. And he would be able to spam it because balance is a time magic. Casts really quickly. So yes, it's really strong. Now Ash obviously doesn't have as much max HP as Vossler. She's a lower level, and also I've been putting heavy armor on her, which gives her defense rather than health. But we could, you know, focus on health nodes on the gambit grid, on the license board, gambit grid, on the license board, and we could stack her up. So it's a fun skill. And I'm probably going to use it as I run along here. It's just she's dead at the moment, so yeah. All right, back over now. Let's see the Moogle. My God, I'll tell you what. Everyone got sniped. I've just basically been fleeing. Everyone got sniped by bamboo arrows and got poisoned and just slowly melted to death. All 3 of them there. That's funny. I shouldn't have wasted any time trying to get Ash up. It's okay, though, because we got a save crystal. And I think I'm actually going to full save. I can't remember the last time I full saved. Because there isn't a full save crystal over at Dice. You die to the Garuda, you got to walk. In the original versions, or auto-saving otherwise. Okay, so hi, what was going on before? You killed the wild scourge of the Sandsea? Kupo? Amazing! By the way, the Uru-Yensa from before, he just went by Kupo. Maybe he was going to look for that treasure for you? Unusually kind of him. He was headed for the Uru-Yensa Sandsea. Ah, hold on, but we were already there earlier. Yeah, he didn't update. So, yeah, Uru-Yensa, back to the Uru-Yensa. Now, remember that thing I said about the Exile? Ooh, well, maybe we can spy him. Not that it's the same character. So, oh, there you go. It says a rare creature appears. That's good. That means the Exile is here, so we can get that rare game. Notice how different the color is here? Oh, I guess it's because we've got a bit of a sandstorm. This is actually okay now, though. It's not clear skies, so we can be safe from any entites. And look, this guy's running off. Oh, the Moogle caught him. Were you looking off for a reward, Kupo? Did you find the treasure of the Sandsea? And he nods. Ha! Just where is he going, Kupo? Well, I'm not sure. You tell me. Right, so now we go back. That's such a weird part of the game right there. Because, again, people are just going to go off into the Uru-Yensa Sandsea to turn around. Anyway, you do kind of get a hint that you ran off the other way if you're paying attention. Now, while we're here, real quick, if I have a quick... There you go, look at that. So, up there is our rare game. That is the Uru Exile. Now, in vanilla, the way you get him to spawn is with a very, very long process of getting a huge chain. And then he, like, comes to avenge his brethren, I guess, something like that. You know, it's up to you guys how you want to feel about that. Let's leave remote up. And you'll see he's got a big, scary thing. So, arrow's pretty good. Now, another little tip here. If we go to stats, you will see that Penelo has 43 magic. And she's actually the strongest magic in the party. But she's not a black mage, so she doesn't actually have any spells, really, except water. Which, you know, in the grand scheme is not going to be that great going forwards. She can contribute a bit, alright? And she won't wake people up asleep if you don't want her to. And if they're water weak, it's good. Now, what she can do, though, is this guy's weak to air, right? 6,000 health. Oh, we can poach him. So here's what you can do. You can go to Penelo and have her throw a moat. Like, oh, I don't know, this Eroga moat we've had for a million years. And then when she throws the moat, look at his animations. He's scary looking, man. Holy crap, that is not Eroga. That's another thing. Did it land? Did it miss? I don't know. Anyway, when she throws the moat, it will take her magic. So she's better at moats, basically, than the others. Does that make sense? Really good. Now let's get Varn out and let's poach the guy. So, oh, also stealing from rare game. Also a good idea. And there you go. Poach the Uru Exile, getting a Magarokugu. So, let's see what we got here. God, the way I'm just reading these frigging katana names out. There you go. That's an attack power 50 katana. To compare to Ash specifically. So, the Osafune has 26. This is twice as good. Look at that bad boy. So good. Now, she'll lose her shield. She doesn't even have the license for that right now. Loses a bit of evade. But, wow, it gains a ton of vitality on that as well. Nice weapon. So with that dealt with, well, we'll get a nice little cutscene. And as a side quest, unfortunately, there's not really any voice acting here. So you'll have mine. And this is all to help us with the Garuda, believe it or not. This is cool seeing this with the weather as it is. Usually it's very sunny here, I think. So look at that. Not only do we just find the Exile, who's totally unique, his model, by the way. Totally unique. Not used anywhere else in the game. We also now see, like, their queen up there. Kupo! A gathering of the Uru-Yensa. A truly rare occurrence, Kupo. Look at her. She is gross. She is nasty looking. We don't really get to hear them. We can't understand them. Kupo? Kupo? Po? Wait, what's happening, Kupo? Wait, no, they're going to execute him. Oh dear, really? Save him. This is a really sad little story, honestly, with this little Moogle trying to help out. Look at how cute the fuzzy that Moogle's face is as well. It's like a little raccoon. It looks like it's got a little red 2 on its head as well, doesn't it? Don't do this. This creature would still be at large if it weren't for his plea for help, Kupo. You shame us by seeking aid outside the tribe. Uru-Yensa are lords and masters of the Great Sea. We seek the aid of none. He kind of jolts back. Look at her. Look at that mouth. A face only a mother could love. Your words are the howling of the sand to my ears. I condemn you to dust. Ah, look at that. She like casts warp on him. He disintegrates. What have you done, Kupo? You bring him back. Those who sully our name will be punished, be they foeman or kin. They must pay the honor price. There can be no forgiveness. I will destroy you too, but I am merciful. Better you live to tell the world that the Uru-Yensa are not to be taken lightly. Now, leave. Wow, and look at her, the way she moves on like stilettos or whatever. I feel bad for killing the Exile because he was probably not exiled for a real reason. Jeez. So, what? We just got the guy killed. I mean, we helped them. Hello. That rogue Uru-Yensa, he wouldn't have been happy back with his clan. I'm sure of it, Kupo. Yeah, I'm sure of it too. Well, there is now this little flower here. Oh, remember like the Galbana lilies? That flower, it's rare to see one blooming in the Sand Sea, Kupo. Maybe the treasure that he found was this? Now, I feel like I'm missing something. It's rare to see a flower blooming in the Sand Sea, Kupo, and just not any flower. There's a particularly dangerous avian known as the Garuda that's said to be quite unfond of this flower's scent, Kupo. A treasure indeed. And he repeats the same thing. So, is this the soul of the Uru-Yensa in here or something? A bunch of berries hang from the flower, and we gain a bunch of Esgia Berries. Taking a look at them in the inventory. They are throwable combat items of the dark element. Remember that the Garuda doesn't like dark? Ah, a curious item detested by the avian known as the Garuda. So excellent. And if we try to pick more, it says it hasn't yet buried. If you throw these, then you can come back and collect more later so that you've always got some. And you can actually do that in the middle of a Garuda fight too. There's a weird thing. The Garuda boss, unlike other bosses in the game, you can actually leave in the middle of. I get the sense that they were going to make it a really hard, really badass, really interesting encounter. And therefore you were allowed to flee from it as well. So you can actually leave. You throw berries, it doesn't quite go well. And then here we poach a succulent flute. Succulent flute. Lovely. Fruit. So you could come back and get more berries. I'm going to hold on to these. These are our ticket to victory back over at the Garuda. Also, though, is the spell Decoy, because I really want to hold aggro on one target. Look at this place with the weather different. So I'm going to go back to Rabanasta. I'm going to go south to this crystal. I'm going to teleport to Rabanasta and buy it from the clan provisioner. The Rocky training montage is complete. Oh, it is little red outfit. Hello, Horn. Welcome to the Moogling, Kupo. Step right up, lad. Thank you for Decoy. How did I forget it, man? Ugh, annoying. Right, I'm going to get rid of the flimsy blade from, ages ago. We don't really need that. Spares will blade we can get rid of. Spare silver bow. Spare capella. In fact, the other one we might be able to get rid of. 6 bow guns. When the hell did we get all of these? Get rid of that. Get rid of the spare wizard staff. Get rid of the spare warhammer. These are really, really good. All these items down here we should probably hold on to. Now, let's... oh, and then we can sell our loot as well. Succulent fruits. Another 7k. Bunch of earthstones. Yensa fins. A fin designed to cut through seas of sand. Extremely tough and must be finely chopped for cooking. Used as a secret ingredient in any number of dishes. Some water stones. Wind. Green liquid. This is what we got. We talked about that actually already. I guess I managed to collect a couple more. A turtle shell. I guess we got this from the Uru-Yensa. A tough shell. These are often used to craft crockery, armor, and other items of daily convenience. Very nice. Large feather. Generally more stuff that we've seen. A Pisces gem. A yellow gemstone bearing the name Pisces represents the Tangled Weave of Fate. Whenever I see these, it makes me think of what my own one is. It's kind of weird. I probably shouldn't. Yensa scales for stealing from some of the Yensa. Tiny pores in these scales allow them to breathe, preventing excessive moisture loss while still offering excellent protection against desert heat. Wow. They really thought about this.
Don't even get that from the bestiary entry. So there is a bunch of stuff. I'm going to grab Rain of Tears. This is the really good one from selling those ooze. Here we get an upper tier for Balthier with his gun with the Aqua Shot. Now this is water element gunfire. He won't silence anymore, but he will have water element. Now that's pretty good. Here we get to refresh a bunch of our basics for cheap. And now, so Heavy Lance, this would allow him to hit the Garuda, but we don't need to worry about that. The longbow has double range compared to normal bows, which is pretty good. The Sirius is actually the top tier gun for him at the moment, but I don't think we need to buy that. The Paramina crossbow we can put on Ash now. Everything else we kind of have one of, except down here the Hornito, a hand bomb. So we can put this onto Varn once he starts learning those. Now here for the heavy, you see we get something special, the Winged Helm. By equipping a Winged Helm, and Ash already can, you'll see we learn to float. Now, isn't that weird? So let's have a little look at Ash here, now that I've done that. She's now floating, because she's wearing this helmet, and she's got the new icon. Now, what does float mean? Float makes you immune to earth damage, which already is amazing. Unfortunately, the Garuda doesn't inflict earth damage, so it's not good there. But also, you will gloss over traps. And in vanilla, this is how you mute sound. So if you want to sneak past things, you have to get all the way here in the game. And then you have to be always floating, which is not so easy in vanilla because it's not on gear so easily. And then you actually will still get heard anyway the second you do like any kind of technique or anything. So it's kind of an obscure mechanic, but there you go. So that's float. And if we ever are scared of traps now and we don't have any lead remotes, we can run around with this, which is pretty nice. Now, what else was going on? Stop. So stop will halt the actions of a foe 100%. This is not AoE, but it's immobilize and disable at once. What I really want is to make sure Varn is safe. So let's upgrade his dagger, first of all, or give him the license for the new one since we did just collect it. There's all these battle laws around that could make him hit harder. But what I really want to do is make sure that he survives a little better. So let's give him the battle harness finally. He's going to be our tank. We're going to do a classic tank setup in this next engagement, and we'll give him a little bit more battle strength here. So for Balthier, we'll pick up the final potion law. So potion law 1 was 20% more heals from potions, then 30, then 40, and these do stack together, just so that you guys know. It's not that you can just skip to potion law 3 and then the whole thing's done. That's not quite how it works. We get a nice gambit slot there as well. Now if we move off onto the right, we can find ether laws too. Ether law 2 and ether law 3. Let's give him a little bit of health. I think that's a good opportunity for us right now. And if you notice, he's got tons of LP. The reason he has tons of LP is because we gave him that gear. And here, check it out, a swiftness license. So he's the first one to grab these. It's actually Varn that's best with these and gets the most of these and most regularly. Varn's going to be very quick. But Balthier can grab that, and I think he's out of purchases now. Now Fran, we messed up with the armor before, remember? So we'll pick up some armor with her. And that's pretty much going to drain her there, really. She's not going to be able to do much else. A little bit of magic strength, so at least we can actually equip her with appropriate stuff. There's a gambit slot, but we're slightly out of range of it. Barsh also had the armor issue. So sorry, Barsh. Ash is okay, but not him. Now, this is good. Last stand. For Barsh, when he is in critical HP, he'll take half physical damage. That is excellent. Probably want to get him more HP at some point. And finally, we have Pinello. Let's give her the healing rod. Remember this thing? And I'll talk you guys through that. Let's pick that up. I kind of want to keep her on poles for now. So we'll talk about the healing rod later, because the pole's going to be good for hitting the Garuda, who is airborne. And why don't we give her intercession, a quickening? Pretty good. And then she's got a little bit more points. So we'll give her 190 more max HP. Very nice. Let's head on into the Garuda. And the team I'm going to use is going to be Balthier, Varn, and Ash. Except, see, Pinello's being targeted by someone. Probably herself. There you go, she was curing. So we have to wait a second and then we come back in. That's the clunkiness that I'm talking about. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have Balthier, who now has a new slot, and we're going to tell him to decoy on Varn. So what this will do, and this is going to be second top priority. Also, we could make him high potion instead of regular potion. Actually, I'll buy more potions off of dice, because this is going to be really important. Balthier is kind of going to be our healer here.
Until I swap Penelo in, probably in the middle. I don't have this down to a science, just so that you guys know. We could buy high potions. Does he sell regular ones? He doesn't sell regular potions? Alright, fine. High potions it is then. Alright, we'll gambit up high potions. Yeah, so he's going to be our healer for sure. He can heal really well if we're using high potions. 32 of them, that should get us through the fight. So here's what, watch this. Balthier is going to cast Decoy on Varn. Like now, he should. Oh, I guess he's trying to potion us up. Probably not a good idea to do this. He should be using first aid. There you go. Decoy. Now there you'll see like a mirror reflect kind of effect came up. I don't know what that is. I get the feeling that Decoy was once upon a time meant to be a different ability that did a different thing. You would think that that increases your evasion or something, wouldn't you? What it's actually doing is the reverse of increasing your evasion. It's making them all want to hit you. I don't know, putting mirrors up. Maybe the idea is there's a billion Varn everywhere and that's all anyone wants to fight now. I don't know. But the animation, as weird as the animation is, this is a very, very, very useful skill. In that now, and you can see we've got the effect with a duck next to our name. Why it's a duck, I don't know. Quack, 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 we're calling their attention. The Garuda will always focus on Varn. So he can make sure that he has a nice shield with good evade on it. Regular evade. I think we're on the best already. There is accessories we can wear later. Let's put the battle harness on him. Keep him as healthy as possible. He's only got 600 health. It's Balthier that's the healthiest now. And in the meanwhile, Ash is going to use Dark, and Balthier is going to shoot him with a gun. And that's how we're going to try and kill the Garuda. And if things get really dicey, we're going to swap Penelo in with Bash. And Bash will defend himself with Protect and stuff. Alright, so round 2, let's see what we got. The lure is up, and I know it looks scary as hell because Varn's health is just so low. Are we really out of points on him? We are. Jesus. Well, we wander on over. There he is in the cutscene. I don't know why he didn't appear in it before. I guess that's a rare bug. Well, here we go. Okay, so immediately pause. Immediately, Esgia Berries. Straight on him. Now, what this will do is disable his really strong abilities. And you see that says Garuda readies Enrage. That will take his Enrage off as well. So what Enrage does is it means he no longer has a charge time on his attacks. So he'll go pew, 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 and just destroy you. Now he has a charge time, which is good. That's the start. Second, we want to get blind and slow up as often, as is often the case. Now, whoever is close to it, I want away, because really, they're going to be taking big damage if they're not very, very, very careful. Balthier needs to stop on his steel chain. Also, Ash, it's time to use the crossbow now. Oh my god, do you know what? I know a mistake I've made. We never bought the bolts. She doesn't have any ammo. That's what it says. You lack proper ammunition to equip. It's okay, though, because we want her casting Dark anyway in this fight. I'll look into the bowgun thing on the next part. But, yeah, and the balance situation, I mean, that's good. We'll do this up here. We will swap the Earth Week for the Dark Week. Dark Week Dark, which is exactly what he is. And we might even have some nice strong moats as well that everyone else can throw, especially Penelo if she comes out. So, the question is now, does Varn actually have aggro? It looks like he might. It's flying over to him. Oh, God. Okay, good. So, there's the miss. Hit up time magic. Slow. You get silent. This guy won't cast magic, so silence doesn't really matter. Okay, you can't slow him. He's immune. That will start to happen. That's why I think that's what the game with Enrage is. Look at this, the ceiling up there. How cool is that? I think that's what Enrage is all about. The only way to get rid of Enrage is the Esgia Berries. You can't, like, put slow or something like that. Right, so yeah, Varn should stay there. He should miss. And yeah, when it hits, it should do good damage. But as long as he keeps blocking, we'll be fine. And we can actually finish him off with a quickening at some point as well. But Varn is doing excellently. And there you saw the counter too. So he'll keep countering. And now we have the Garuda dead. Look how completely different this is. Get those Esgia Berries. Play the game. Do the mechanics. And yeah, he's pretty tanky as well. We can throw a Libra remote up just to have a look. He gets faster and scarier the lower health he gets, but I can't remember exactly what mechanic it is that unlocks the lower he goes. Maybe he just starts attacking really fast again. The important thing is to disable Gust and Blitz, which he would be using otherwise. And yeah, if Balthier can get a crit with his gun, it's not too bad. If you have a look, he's hitting 400 a pop. I mean, Ash is playing into its elemental weakness, and she's only getting like 500. Oh, there you go. Did you see how low Varn got? Wow, this combo's so strong, but the high potion, wow, high potions being instant is amazing. Honestly, seriously, I think Balthier is one of the strongest characters on the team. Obviously, he costs a lot of money with the kind of stuff he does, but like Penelo or Barsh or whoever else healing Varn up, it's not going to be quick enough to save him, you know? Look at this! Thing is, we are spending a lot of money here, and items won't always be available, really. But enjoy the Phoenix Down spam and so on while you can, guys. But hey, so there you go. They're getting a little bit low. Now, Ash has ran out of MP. We could ether her, or let's just sub her for, say, Penelo, who has a quickening and a pole. So Penelo should just be able to attack with her pole, and she can get extra damage. And let's see how her quickening goes. We'll try and assassinate it. I don't know how much damage it will do. So 27,500 health. Probably we want it. I don't know. What did we see it do before? 500 against geese? We're way stronger now. Oh, Varn has started spamming poach, so let's get rid of that. Like, that's HP critical, guys. That's how much you can, like, just ignore in terms of damage. And Varn can't strike back, so we're a little bit slower here. But that's fine. Let's see what Penelo's got. Ready? Intercession. Rank 1 quickening. Invoke the wrath of the ancients, damaging one foe. Oh yeah, she's going to charge it up, and hopefully she won't get into trouble with this. The Garuda can send you to sleep with his attacks as well, by the way. So you do want to be concerned about that. If you don't use Decoy, he'll fly around.
I got it.
So, oh god, I could be playing the mechanic. There you go. He'll fly around spamming sleep on different people, or he'll just sleep you and wake you up, and then sleep you and wake you up. It's because his weapon is technically a sleep beak. Okay, so there I got to combo twice. I'll explain more how that works as we go forwards. It works better when you got more people with more quickenings. Really important to be careful about the Garuda. And sweet victory! It looks like Varn's not posing or anything. Where's his dagger? What are you doing? He's just standing there? Alright. The one thing I miss about these scenes that you used to get is, like, people talking in them. You know, Balthier should be saying, like, that's how it's done. Or whatever, right? Or who's next from Varn? So, Ash can give us a good explanation about Raithwall from her own mouth here. Also, yeah, this ancient device stirs. That won't unless you beat the Garuda. You can run away, but you can't run in.
Long ago, the gods granted their favor to King Raithwall, who would oversee the subjugation of a vast territory spanning from Mordalia to Valendia. Here, he forged the Galtean alliance. Though he is called the Dynast King, upon establishing the alliance, he demonstrated compassion for his people and disdain for needless war. A philosophy passed on to his successors, one that would bring peace and prosperity for hundreds of years to follow. It was during this time of peace that the city-states of Arcadia and Rosaria, each members of Raithwall's alliance, took root and flourished. Raithwall left 3 relics signifying descent from the Dynast King. Of these, the Midlight Shard was given to what would become House Nabradia, and the Dusk Shard to my ancestors, the founders of Dalmasca. The last of these relics was the Dawn Shard. It remained hidden here, known only to those of royal blood.
As though the Dynast King foresaw the very plight before us now.
None save descendants of the king are suffered within. If we attempt to enter without proof of such lineage...
There's no guarantee we'll make it out alive. Vicious beasts, fiendish traps, something like that?
Mm-hmm. But you must consider the prize. The Dawn Shard lies within, and Raithwall's treasure.
And there was I, thinking this was going to be hard.
So, yeah, maybe he foresaw that one day
the Dusk Shard, and we just heard about another one, the Midlight Shard. You know, someone might steal them away so that you can't prove it anymore. So he hid this. He hid this information. Ash knew about this. Barsh didn't, as far as we know. Barsh just cared about the Dusk Shard there. And we've lost it. So yeah, there was one with Nebradia too. It didn't really help them, did it? Does that mean that Rassler would have, you know, known about this place also? Did he have the Midlight Shard? And in fact, now that all the Nebradians are gone, what's going on with that shard, the Midlight Shard? Right, as you can see down here, Dice. And by the way, did you see all the armies standing around in this massive epic place? That was cool. I like that little touch. So Dice is here. You impressed, buddy? You killed the avian? Amazing. And this, I've never seen such a magnificent structure. It looks like some sort of tomb. The wealth it would take to build such a thing. Think of the treasures it must hold. And a horde of ravenous monsters, I don't doubt. Me, I value life over loot. I go no further. But should you find something, I'm sure I could be persuaded to part with a few gil for it. And if you need aught, of course, I'm your man. So, yeah, even more stuff maybe has appeared. I'm looking forward to using the bombs. All right, yeah, okay, so accessories. We really should earn a bit of cash for these. The black belt, immunity to disable and immobilize. These are very good a bit down the line, so I'll pick one up. The Nishin belt is really good now. Immune to sleep and doom. But I'm not sure whose license we'll be using with that. Stop is also good. Let's see. Maybe we sell the ancient swords. I mean, it's good earth damage. That's the thing. This bowgun is the worst bowgun? Yeah, because we got the Paramina crossbow as well now. So let's do that. Paramina is the name of a place far away from here. The Hero's Blade we could sell, bit of cash. That might have actually unequipped Van there. The Mage Masher, you could keep this for silence tech every now and then, but it's just, it does so little damage now. It's really not worth it. Now, again, let's go back. The main thing is to pick up immunity to Doom right here. We do have another way of dealing with Doom now. That's Horology, and that's going to be very important as well. So, good stuff. And his companion doesn't talk to us. It's nice to see these chocobos here, because weirdly, this whole section of the game is not really made for bypassing on a chocobo. So you don't see it too much. So, and a teleport crystal connecting us to the Heartlands. Right around now is a really good time to go back and do bounties. I'm not going to pick this moment, but right about now is a good time to go back for bounties because you have Vossler and everyone's leveled like a ton. So, yeah, I mean, you could even do a ton of the tomb and go forwards. Inside we are. This place is very ambient, very immersive to me. Var says, what was that thing? To which Balthier says, a contraption you'll find in all but the most rudimentary ancient ruin. One touch and off you're whisked to you know not where. The finer points of their operation elude me, but they're handy all the same. What more need a sky pirate know? So, I view these devices as very, very similar to the boundary transitions and so on. It doesn't surprise me that there was no voice acting in that little scene there, because I guess that they were playing with exactly how everything would connect together till very late in the day. I have to be honest, guys, I hate the waystones. I think they're really lame. It means that a lot of the dungeons, there's no like real coherent sense of what's going on in them or where you go and how you travel. But they are going to be a staple for some dungeons, not all of them. And we've already seen most locations we've been to. This is the first the first waystone we've even seen. But yeah, it just means you kind of get these disjointed like cells, you know. And I don't know, it sucks a bit. It really does. Anyway, let's play as Vossler a bit. As we run forwards, you'll see there's a lot going on here. First, there is a staircase to the far left. But if we try to walk down the staircase to the far left, it's blocked off. There is a door over there. You see that door? But we can't get to the door. The platform's too low or something. And then the same thing's actually going on over here on the right. This is actually a secret. You can think of this as, you know, a trial for you to get through somehow. But the nature of it is unknown to us. So we just came from that waystone. Well, there's this one, but it's not, like, powered. And the device bears a time-worn inscription. Read the inscription. These words have been left by the tomb watchers. With God's craft armed, guard we his tomb. Dyads stirred, come they, one unto the other. So what on earth is this referring to? What is the God's craft? Some kind of weapon that the gods created? Guard we his tomb. Raithwall's tomb? Dyads stirred, come they, one unto the other. You guys can leave your theories down below. Now, if we try to touch this, nothing happens. There must be a corresponding device elsewhere. So do nothing. Now, what we can do is go straight forwards to the main doorway, which looks nice. And I love those like side doorways up there as well. Uh-oh, that doesn't look good. Turn around, everyone. Turn around. So here we have it, a demon wall. Classic Final Fantasy enemy.
Fight or run? We better decide fast.
All right, Vaughn, let's fight it. Let's see what we got. Okay, so first of all, let's leave remote. Oh, but wait, it's a full boss. You can see his health bar there. So if I throw an attack at it with Vaughn, you'll see we did like no damage. He has 44,000 health and he has haste. He's weak to holy, but we don't have holy. So you can fight this thing. You'll see it does a lot of scary stuff, like it's cast silence there, there's blind gun, and you'll see it's running into us. Now, there's some UI on the right showing a flag with a blue dot, that's us, and then the red dot and his face, that's him. He's pushing us back and back and back. So, here's the game. Kill him before he gets to the door, because when he hits the door, you're going to get crushed against it and you're going to die. He has his own abilities that he's spamming. And basically, the game is designed that you're not really meant to be able to beat this guy on your first trip. You can. There are lots of special methods you can go with, including using Reflect. Remember we got that spell outside? Turns out that's actually really pretty good at exactly about here. But we are not going to be able to make this at all. I mean, really, we could try it and try it and try it. The other thing is, Penelo can no longer use Intercession. So if you look underneath her name on the bottom right, there is a bar that needs charging. It's like an overdrive. It's like a limit break. We have to actually work and kill and do things that give us MP specifically to build that back up. There's one skill in the game that can give you loads, that's charge, but we don't have the license for it. So we have to like build it up because we used it against the Garuda. And even in that case, Penelo's the only one with one of those, so it would be hard to spank this guy down, really. I'd also like to point out that in vanilla, you instantly get all your mischarges back at every single save crystal, which is completely insane. The reason that that's happening is because in the 2006 release of the game, it wasn't its own mechanic, it was just MP. Like, I'm not joking. And every time you learned a quickening, it doubled your MP and improved your MP. But it was just such an awful, like, half-baked, clearly rushed idea. When they re-released the game in 2007, they added the proper bars and tried to make it separate. But I believe that they were just negligent and they forgot to, you know, remove some of these MP gaining mechanics, also giving you quickening. It's called mischarge, okay? So a lot of stuff that gives you MP is still giving you mischarge when that's clearly not the idea. So one of the things I've done is tweak it back to the original 2006 idea. We actually have to charge these like in proper Final Fantasy limit break systems. Okay, guys, it's a stupid thing about 12. I fixed it for this playthrough. Thank me later. All right, so anyway, we can't do this. So let's just go through this door and get out of here. Because you can flee from him. Maybe later. Maybe that has something to do with the secret I just mentioned. Oh, I love those glowing lights in the distance. But oh wait, there's another one! And all these fires turning on.
The wall comes, we must be quick. Together we can bring it down.
Okay, so the Guardian of the Tomb. This time, we've got a really long road, okay? You can go all this time before he's going to knock you into the wall and take you out. So, check it out. He's got his two scimitars. I just love the design of this thing. This guy has some very special abilities. And as well, there's another special mechanic. Okay, so as we go in, let's leave remote here. We stole a gold needle from him. That's because he can actually... Can he petrify? I think he might be able to. I think his attacks inflict slow. So he has 29,000 health, but he's doable, alright? So we get a lot more time. And over here, look at this. There is a fire, which is called the Altar of Contemplation. If we read it, take these words have been left by the Tomb Watchers. Wakes it with the flames, follows it with their shadow, never straying. So if we touch it, we can actually stop him from moving, but oh wait, the demon will hasten his fast. Okay, you get a 50-50 chance. Well, it's not 50-50 chance. I don't actually know what the underlying mechanics are here. But sometimes if you turn the fires out, the demon will stop moving. If you get an unlucky roll, or you just pick the wrong one, then it will turn blue and speed him up. Forever, it will speed him up. So you got kind of this extra mechanic here. There's a lot to talk about with the Demon Wall, and he's actually a bit of a challenge. So he is the Guardian of the Tomb. With him dealt with, we'll be inside proper. That is going to be on the next part, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and an added little bit of excitement for you guys. When we find Raithwall's treasure here, we're going to trigger a series of events and end the first act of the game. Remember at the start when I said Final Fantasy XII is split into 3 separate acts? Well, I wonder why that is. Big stuff could happen. See you guys next time.